Hello, everyone. You are welcome once again. Okay, in today's lesson, we are going to look at the solution to the assignment that was given in our previous lesson. And we are looking at plane geometry 1. Okay, so the diagram that we have before us, just as you can see, the instruction or the preamble was to find the values of what? X and Y. So that's what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to find the values of the variables that we can see there. Okay, I think in general, you gave me good presentation. Okay, some of you had the answers right, but you had issues with your presentation. But I saw that the main idea, okay, everything was intact. Only that quite a number of you couldn't, okay, handle it at all. Okay, so let's see. Here, okay, now once again, as I write, I'll have some of your concerns in mind, so I'll address them. As usual, if you have any outstanding concerns, okay, when I'm through, okay, you can draw my attention, then we look at it, okay, in particular. So, solution is what we write first. We are looking for X and Y. Okay, so please take note. All right, okay. Somebody's Hey, Amma, please. Okay, good. All right. So this is what we have. What is happening to Ames? Okay. All right. So this is it. We need to find the values of X and Y. Unlike the previous questions where when you form your equation, okay, you can find one of the variables easily without expressing it in another variable. Okay, here it is not so. So whenever you encounter such a situation, then it means the question wants you to use simultaneous equation. So here is the case you are dealing with plane geometry. So the question is, what is simultaneous equation doing here? That's why maths is very interesting. I've told you maths, you cannot say that you don't like certain topics. You have to like all the topics, only that you should love maybe some of the topics, or you can love some of the topics. However, you should like all the topics, because you will meet them one way or the other in certain topics. So you cannot avoid them usually. So quickly, okay, that was just by the by. Okay, so now this is what we are going to look at. Okay, if I look at this line, I can form a simple equation in X and Y. Okay, form simple equation in X and Y. And here you cannot see any parallel lines for you to be talking about alternate angle, for you to talk about corresponding angle and co-interior angles. You don't have any parallel lines. Remember, I told you don't assume. Even if the lines, they look parallel, until you see that, okay, it is written in words that this line AB, then maybe AD are parallel. Okay, or you see, okay, the representation of parallel line geometrically using the arrows. If you see the arrows, otherwise don't assume. No assumptions. Okay, remember, that is very key. So now what do? We go and set out our first equation. So your first equation will be based on a straight line. So I'm going to have maybe y, okay, plus, okay, my 140, okay, minus what? 2x degrees. Okay, and in actual fact, the questions here, some of the x here should have been degrees. The 30, the 140 here should have, okay, had what? Degrees on it. Okay, so it makes the question a little bit some way, but no problem. The concept is what we want here. Now we are mature, so we know. So I'm going to put maybe the degrees there so that I will be able to combine like terms. Then what else? Okay, should be equal to 180 degrees. And what is the reason? Angles. And please, it is angles, not just angle. It's angle with S. So you can't just write angle on a straight line. You didn't deal with only one angle. You dealt with two angles. So it should be angles. Take note. So as a particular concern addressed also on a straight line or in a line. Okay, then here you can see that we can make y the subject, or in every equation that you want to solve simultaneously. For me, usually, okay, if I can use elimination, I use elimination. However, if you want to go by substitution, then first of all, make one of the variables here the subject. That will not involve a variable, a fraction. So if you make y the subject, it will not involve a fraction because the coefficient is 1. However, if you make L the subject, it will involve a fraction. So you always think along the line before you write. So in this case, we are going to get y to be equal to, okay, you get 180 minus 140, which will give us 40, then plus 2x. So I'm going to get 2x plus 40 degrees. Okay, that will be my y. So I can just call this equation 1. Okay, then I go and form another equation, and that will be based on the sum of the interior angles of what? Your quadrilateral that you have there. So on that note, I can write x plus what? 30 plus what? Don't forget the degrees. Okay, so and let me also put degrees here as well. Okay, then plus what? X. Okay, so I won't forget the degrees, plus y degrees, plus what? 5x, okay, with the degrees also here, then plus 20 degrees should be equal to, here it should be 360 degrees. And you know, angles, okay, in a quadrilateral. So in a quadrilateral. Okay, so at this point, we are going to form our second equation. Okay, so we are going to collect the terms in x and y on one side. So that gives us what? X plus 5x, that will give us 7x. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, then what do we have? Plus what? Let's look at plus y. Okay, then plus, let's go and look at the numbers. 30, 20, that will give us what? 50. Okay, then we'll move it to this side. So it will be 360 minus 50, and that will give us, okay, 310 degrees. Don't forget. Okay, very good. So you can call this maybe your equation 2. Okay, and here you are going to substitute, and that's why I want you to listen carefully. Anytime you are dealing with simultaneous equation, okay, and you want to substitute a certain quantity, okay, which you have labeled, please don't write substitute, don't write put. Okay, if you want to write it, then make sure it is in its continuous form. So putting, substituting, is that clear? Because immediately you write put, substitute, it's like you are commanding the person who is, or instructing the person who is marking. So you are guiding us as to what you are doing, okay, in terms of your presentation. So it's better to write substituting, okay, putting. However, it's not necessary. Okay, just come and write. Should I come again?
No, please.
Did you say I should come again?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I said, okay, anytime you are carrying out substitution, you know that some of you, when you make you come and write, put this equation, maybe equation 1 into equation 2, substitute equation 1 into equation 2. And the point is, okay, the verbs that you have there, the put and the substitute, okay, take notes. Okay, don't use these two. Any verb that you want to use, let it be in its continuous form. So you should write putting, substituting. Is my point well noted? Because you are giving us your solution. Okay, in pamphlets, they will tell you put, because the pamphlet is more or less a teacher instructing you as to what to do. But when you are giving your presentation, you are telling us how you got your answer. You are not teaching us. You get the point? So you cannot instruct us. Is my point well made?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
however, I said you can avoid all that altogether. So just come and write, okay, 1, and 1 circle is an equation into, okay, 2. It establishes the same point. So instead of writing, putting, substituting, just write 1 into 2. So meaning you are substituting equation 1 into 2. So you can take the English out. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then come and write comma. The reason why I always encourage my students to do this now, because of constraints, you can see that this is too short to take a line. So when I'm carrying out my substitution, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I will continue here. So I will write my 7x. Okay, quickly. I hope you are following my points.
Sir.
Okay, so 7x plus my, okay, y, which, okay, I said is 1, is what? 2x plus 40 degrees. Okay, x degrees, 2x degrees, okay, 40 degrees is equal to what? 310 degrees. So at this point, when I'm coming down, I always write close to the margin. So it will be 7x plus, okay, 2x, that will give us 9x. Okay, then you are going to get z equal to, then you get 310 minus 40, and that will give us
270.
okay, 270. Very good. Degrees. But you know, can I divide straight away?
No,
No,
please.
please.
Okay, I can, but I shouldn't. You get it? All right, it will
Yes,
come
please.
with a cost. Okay, so I'm going to continue here. So let me rule the line here, then continue. Okay, so it means I have to write it again before I divide. So it will give me 9x is equal to 270 degrees. Okay, Racy, your hand is up. Any concerns?
Sir, please, it's 140 degrees. But you
Which
made
one?
it 40.
It's 140
There,
rather.
yes.
Let
But
me
you
see.
made it 40
It's 140. So here is 140.
here.
Okay, from the beginning. So at that point, I was solving my own question. So I'm doomed. Okay, so it means this will be 140 as well. Is that clear now? Hello, is it clear now? So this.
Mr. Hackman, it's 40. Because
No, let me see. No, it's not 140. So we looked at this. We moved this one to rather to this side. That gave us the 40. Have you seen that? Next time, be very careful before they beat you. Okay, so have you seen that? It was 140, then we moved that to the other side. So let me clear this. So we are on the right track. Okay, so this is still 40. Okay, so that is what we have. Okay, so we are on the right track. Okay, please take note. This was 140 here. Okay, and we moved. It was 140 here. And we moved 140 to this side, move the 2x. So that's how come you got this. Okay, so let's go. Now over 9. Okay, over 9. So that gives us what? S to be equal to what? Is it 30 degrees?
yes, please.
Okay, but it's x degrees. Don't forget, there should be degrees on the x. Okay, so x degrees. So x degrees is equal to this. But we're asked to find x. So if you want to draw your conclusion here, then it will be therefore x is equal to what? 30 without the degrees. Okay, otherwise you can hold on and draw your conclusion together, which some of you did. But please take note, never, you are still solving the same question. So we shouldn't see any line not attended to. Don't leave any space. So if you do that, you see that usually I will do this. If I do this, then it means move your presentation up. If I do this, then it means move your presentation to the side. Okay, so the direction of the arrow should tell you. Immediately I do this, then it means there is something wrong at that particular, okay, point or step. So take note. So at this point, what do? We are going to substitute this one too. So you label this one as maybe, okay, or yes, label this one as equation, let's say we've done 1. Okay, we didn't label the second equation. We did. Okay, so 3. So equation 3. Okay, so you write equation 3 into equation what? Equation, the one that you made y the subject 1. So again, this is too short, so comma, then you go and substitute y is equal to, you get 2, here there is degrees here, I forgot to bring that one. So 2 into, what is your x? X is what? 30, so 30, okay, degrees, then what? Plus what? Your 40. Okay, so degrees, don't forget the degrees, very critical. So that gives us y to be equal to what? 60 degrees plus what? 40 degrees, which is, so y degrees, I think y should also have degrees. Okay, so let me go and do the right thing. Okay, y degrees. So the y here should have degrees. Okay, so now you get, okay, y degrees. So y degrees will be equal to what? Your 100 degrees. Therefore, y is equal to what? Is equal to 100. Is my point well made? Okay, very good. All right. Okay, so any question before I bring the curtains down? We are all fine. Have I addressed all concerns? Okay, so great. Okay, even at this point, you can choose not to label. When you get here, then you come and substitute. Okay, only that when what you are going to substitute involves variables, okay, we will advise, okay, that you label and you work with it. And when you are writing equation 2, please don't write this, maybe this then 1. Okay, or don't write equation in 4. Then when you have 1 circled, this is regarded as an equation, and it is this, the name of, so when you just write the 1 with circle, when we are reading, we read this as an equation. So that's why I read this one as equation 1 into equation 2. Okay, equation 3 into equation 1. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right, great. So that will be it for the solution to this particular question. If you don't have any further questions to add, okay, then, okay, we thank God for a successful, okay, meeting.